Good afternoon, students. Welcome to your online class. So as we have completed our chapter 7, so today we are going to start with our chapter 8. So that is fabric and apparel. So with this chapter we enter the part of this textile in your syllabus. So this is the chapter 8, and the next chapter will also include some part of the textile, that is merchandising and the fabrics. So this is the chapter 8, that is fabric and apparel. So as you can see that textile materials are among the oldest materials known to the human world. So the fabrics made from fibers like cotton, wool, linen and silk have been used from prehistoric times for apparel and household articles, and also for finishing and hunting, nets, ropes, sails for ships, among others. So to these lists of natural fibers, the last century saw the addition of manufactured and synthetic fibers. So now, from your knowledge of class 11, the various facts of fibers and apparel study you can recall. Like, what have you read in class 11 about this textile part is that knowledge of basic textile materials and their properties, which makes the sections available for the specific needs and for their appropriate care and maintenance. Now, what are the significances of this clothing and apparel in terms of the social, psychosocial, psychological and economic aspects, geographical, cultural and religious needs, age, physical growth of the person, purely aesthetic or decorative aspects. So what is this scientific significance of this clothing or apparel, this according to these factors? So let us discuss about these things in details in this whole chapter. So foremost in this section are those related to design. So what is this design? First of all, we need to know that design is a term commonly used to describe the appearance and apparel of any article. So suppose design means, suppose you are giving any apparel to any this textile or any clothing, suppose you are attaching or giving any apparel to it. So that basically signifies the design of that particular clothing due to this apparel on it. So it may be used for the cut and style of the dress or the color and print of a fabric. So these things, this print of a fabric or colors or any type of styles on a dress, these all are things are the apparels. So however, it is not merely decoration, it is the planning and creation of an article for a specific purpose. So you have learned in class 11 that the process of manufacturing and public application of special treatments on all fibers which have made it possible to have fabrics and materials suitable for specific use. So let's see what are the clothings are meant to be and the areas which are discussed about the fashion designing or the others in this chapter. So now in here you can see that clothings are an important part of our life. So they become part of our memories as we remember some of our special occasions by what we were wearing. Over a period of time we develop a special style. Very often we look for a designer who can provide us that consistent look and also adapt current trends. So they are referred to as fashion designer. So basically, who is advising you of different kinds of clothing experiences, or who have been arranging some dress to you because of these special occasions that are being organized, and also because of the current trends, to adapt yourself with the current trend. So that is what we call an fashion designer. So now let's see what are the areas that are discussed over here. So design in fabric and apparel. So basically we have to understanding the fundamentals of the design. So what does this design means, and what is also about the style. Now the second thing is fashion design and merchandising. So the design industry is a vibrant, varied and dynamic creative sector that plays a powerful and important role in many areas of our lives. So fashion design as a subject can introduce and prepare students to know the fashion business operates and what to expect while working in it. So basically fashion design and merchandising means that designing a particular or to what to say, to came up with new fashion technologies and fashion designs, and also this merchandising them. Merchandising means how you can introduce those things as a business purposes or for your business operations. So this is what we call fashion design and merchandising. The next thing is production and quality control in garment industry. The garment industry of India is an important part of our Indian economy. So lots of revenues are being collected because of this garment industry. So that is one of the most important part of our Indian economy. So it provides an increasing avenue of jobs in views of the popularity and wider usage of technology in this field. So now next one is conversion of textile products, particularly in museums, which are resource centers for revival and preservation of heritage, for reproduction and development, and for creating awareness. So conservation of textile products. So basically to conserve these products, what is needed is that particularly the things where these things are to be conserved are mentioned, like museums which are resource centers. Okay, so that thing for the development and the reproduction of the creative awareness, we have to conserve these textile products. So now the last point is care and maintenance of fabrics in institutions. So this provides opportunities for entrepreneurship and professional enterprises, be it service rendered at the domestic household level through commercial laundries to special care of fabrics in institutions included in the hospital and hospitality sectors. So particularly in these things, care and maintenance of the fabrics are also important, and it provides the opportunities for the entrepreneurship or the entrepreneurs and the professional enterprises to be in the services which are to be rendered in the domestic and household purposes. So now the subject of this fabric and apparel has been a part of erstwhile home science courses in different universities and colleges. It is referred to by the different nomenclatures like textile and clothing or clothings and textile and fashion study or fashion and textile sciences, or also the fashion technology and apparel designs. These courses are taught as after school courses, as degree programs, diplomas in home science college, polytechnic institutions. So these courses you can carry on with these courses after your this class 12 in your bachelor degree, or you can also do these diploma courses. So now we'll move to So now we'll move to the basic things of this fabric and apparel, that is the design analysis, structural design, as well as the elements of design. So now comes the basic concepts, that is design analysis. So design is an arrangement according to a plan for creation of a desired object. So it goes on step further than the functional part of the planning and produces a result which gives aesthetic satisfaction. So this is studied in two aspects, that is structure and applied. So the basic designs, it is understood with the help of these two basic aspects, that is the structural design and as well as the applied design. So what are these structural and applied design? We are going to learn. So structural design is that which depends on the form and not superimposed ornamentation. So in fabric production, it takes into account the basic processing of fibers, types of fibers and yarns, variations of weaving, knitting, etc., and the stages at which color is added. So in dress, it refers to the basic cut or silhouette of the garment. So basically what are these? So the structural design, you can note down that the variation of the weaving, knitting, etc., as well as what are the different types of fibers and yarns, the basic processing of the fibers. These are the basic structural design. That means the structural of this implies the structure of the fabric. So these are the basic structural designs. Now comes the applied design. So applied design, you can get it from the name only, that when you're applying something to the design or the fabric is turned to be this applied design. So now what is this? Applied design is a part of a design which has been superimposed on the basic structure. So now this depends upon this basic structure. Without the basic structure to be formed, without the formation of this basic structure, this thing cannot be further processed. This applied design cannot be made. So on fabric finishes with dyeing and printing, embroidery, fancy needlework can change the appearance. So these are the basics applied designs. On garments, it includes streams and notions, that are the fasteners. You have already read about this in class 11, which add to the value of the final product. So fabric design and dress designs are as much as the art as architecture, painting and sculpture. Thus the same grammar of the art is applicable. So now design consists of two main factors. So what are the two factors which are responsible with the design? So now the elements of design, that are the elements of the design, and the principles of the design. These are the two things which we are going to learn in this chapter. So there are also several elements of design. What are those? Elements of design are the tools of the art. These are color. Please note down whatever the elements of design I am saying. You can note down this, that what are the different elements of this design. So color, texture and line, shape or form. The elements of designs are manipulated to create harmony, balance, rhythm, proportion and emphasis. So these are the principles of the design. So now the principles of the design and the elements of design both are given over here. So you can note down these elements of the design are the color, texture, line, shape or form. And these principles of the design are harmony, balance, rhythm, proportion and emphasis. So what are these principles of the design and what are the elements of the design? Let us study now. So the first element that we have got is the color. So what is this color? Color is all around us in many forms. It is one of the most important aspects of all textile materials, be it for apparel, household, commercial or institutional use. So the identity of the product is most often attributed to color. So color basically implies everything, because a garment or a clothing without color is not that much of appreciated or not that much of attracted. So color plays a very important role in the textile materials. So everyone responds to color and he has definite preferences. Colors reflects the seasons, events and spirit of the people. So there are lots of events in which the white costumes are to be worn, and also there are several on which the black also are worn, and there are also some being used to use these colorful garments. So the choice is affected by culture, tradition, climate, season, occasion or purely personal reason. So color is an important part of the fashion. So designers carefully choose fabric colors to make a different statement. So basically what we have learned, that the color plays a very vital role on what this textile material is needed. So now let's study in details about this. So what is this color theory? So color can be defined as reflection of light striking the surface of an object. It is the visual sensation resulting from the reflection of the visible light rays that strike the retina and stimulate cells in the nerves of the eye. The nerves send a message to the brain which produces a sensation of a special kind. So that is the time that we see the color. So basically what happens when a particular when the visible these light rays are strike into our retina and stimulate the cells, that you have heard about these cells in your biology, the rod cells and the cone cells. So it stimulates the cells which in the nerves of the eye. The nerves send a message to the brain. So now the nerves, they are sending the message to the brain that something is trying to, you are visible with something, so which produces a sensation of a special kind, and that is the time we see color. So the color that is observed by the brain is dependent on a particular wavelength or combination of the wavelengths of the light sources. To see the color on any material, light must be reflected from the object to be seen by the eye. When all the light rays are reflected, the object appears white. So when none are reflected, it is black. So now you have learned that when we see black and when we see white. So this is how the generation of the camera being in color has been evolved. So when all the light rays are reflected, the object appears white, and when none are reflected, it is called black. So this is what the color theory tells about. And you have heard about the light falling on raindrops are scattered to produce the spectrum of 7 colors, that is the vibgyor. So what is this vibgyor? That is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. These 7 colors in combination is called vibgyor. So read about this. Now coming to the next part is the light rays of the short wavelength are grouped as, these are also called receding or restful colors. So what are these colors? Green, blue and purple. So these are of the short wavelength. Now the longer wavelengths have red color and yellow, which is also called the advancing or stimulating colors. So because light is composed of different wavelengths, color is seen in different values and intensities. So this is what the light rays are classified into. Light rays are classified into these 2 types, that is short length, according to the short length, short wavelength, and also the longer wavelength. Okay. So here you can see that color is specified in 3 aspects, that is hue and value and intensity of or chroma. So what is this hue? Hue is the common name of the color. So spectrum specifies the 7 color as vibgyor, as I have mentioned you earlier. So to understand color from a design point of view, references is made to the Munsell's color wheel. What is this color wheel? We are going to read about this later on. So this divides color as, so this wheel divides the color as the primary colors, secondary colors, as well as the tertiary or intermediates. So what are the primary colors? Note down this is a very important part of this chapter. So primary colors, these cannot be produced by mixing any other colors. So these colors, these primary colors, it cannot be made by mixing 2 colors, okay, and other colors, it might be 2, 3 or 4. So these are red, yellow and blue. So this pure red, yellow and blue, these colors cannot be produced by mixing 2 or 3 colors or the other colors. So now the secondary colors, these are made by mixing 2 primary colors. So when the 2 primary colors are mixed, as I mentioned, the red, yellow and blue, by mixing these colors, 2 primary colors, these secondary colors are formed, that is the orange, green and violet. And now the tertiary or intermediates, what are these? These are made by mixing 1 primary and 1 secondary color. So by mixing 1 primary and 1 secondary, when mixed, and then these tertiary or intermediate colors comes. So lying adjacent to one another on the color wheel, it should also lie one another in the color wheel. So thus we have red orange, yellow green, blue green, purple, blue purple, red purple. These are the formed as a triangle in this color wheel. I'll show you the picture of the color wheel, so it will be easy for you to guess. So by seeing the picture of the color wheel, now read this primary, secondary as well as this tertiary or intermediate colors. Given attached the picture of the color wheel, you can see the color wheel, that the primary colors, the tertiary colors as well as the secondary color, those are given in here. So as a triangle they are formed. So apart from these, apart from the primary, secondary and tertiary, there are also this group, they are the groups known as neutral colors. So what are the neutral colors? Such as white, grey, black, silver and metallics. So these are called the neutral colors. So what and they are also called the achromatics. So that is colors without color. So what are achromatics? Go through the question and also go through these neutral colors. They are both the same thing. The common color wheel shows colors in their purest form and fullest intensity. So with the high intensity, all the colors are given in here in the color wheel, you can see. So go through this color wheel and make the different combinations, and you can get the primary, secondary as well as the tertiary colors. So today we are going to learn about up to this only in this chapter, and in our next class we will be studying with the values. So this is the second element of the design. So we will start with this. So till then, go through this, and if you have any problem, we will discuss it in our Zoom class. Okay. So thank you.